Hey everyone, I'm excited to be your host today because what's going down in Dalton, Illinois? It feels like a political drama straight out of Hollywood, so buckle up. This one's got it all: hope, power, betrayal, and a jaw-dropping plot twist. It all started in May 2021, when Dalton made history. This small, mostly black village voted in Tiffany Henyard as mayor, the first young black woman ever to hold that seat. She came in blazing with promises: empowerment, reform, and leadership the community desperately needed. People were hopeful. They came out strong for her. They believed. But flash forward a few years and that bright vision, it's faded fast. Instead of delivering, Henyard started popping up in headlines for all the wrong reasons. Allegations rolled in, claiming she was spending taxpayer money like it was her personal debit card, from high-end hair bundles and candles to sandals and even cooking pots. While regular people in Dalton were struggling, their mayor was allegedly living it up with village funds. And it didn't end there. Henyard started clashing with anyone who dared to question her. Videos showed her going off during meetings, publicly calling out her critics. Many of them blacked themselves for simply holding her accountable. "Y'all should be ashamed," she shouted. "Y'all black and sitting here attacking a black woman that's empowered." But yelling couldn't drown out the pressure. Investigations piled up. Residents got louder. The demands for change couldn't be ignored. And now the tables have officially turned. In a move people have been waiting for, Dalton has a new leader, Jason House. After months of controversy and political backroom chess moves, House officially stepped into the role. And it wasn't a quiet handoff. City Hall was packed. People even stood outside during the swearing-in. The energy, unmatched. When House placed his hand on the Bible and said, "I do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and serve this community with integrity," the crowd broke into applause. One resident said, "We watched our tiny village become a world movement, and they weren't wrong." Dalton's drama hit national headlines, exposing not just local mismanagement, but a cry for real, honest leadership. Now, under Jason House, the mission is clear: bring back transparency, clean up the mess, and rebuild what was broken. Judging by the overwhelming support, the community's ready to turn the page. Meanwhile, Tiffany, she's taken a sharp detour to Facebook. Instead of addressing the damage or offering even a hint of accountability, she's been posting selfies and vague inspirational quotes like none of it ever happened. The same woman who strutted around Dalton pulling in a $347,000 salary, more than the governor of Illinois, is now earning $0. The perks are gone. So is the power. And if the reports are accurate, she didn't save a dime, because here's the truth. When you come into power for the wrong reasons, it never lasts. And when it's gone, if you didn't lead with honesty, there's nothing left to fall back on. No respect, no legacy. This story isn't just about Tiffany Henyard. It's about what happens when public trust is shattered and what can happen when communities wake up and demand better. Dalton is wide awake now, and they are not playing. While Tiffany Henyard was making headlines for all the wrong reasons, there were other leaders in Dalton doing the real work quietly. At the front of that was Edward, Steve, and Jason House. These weren't attention seekers, weren't chasing clout. These were men rooted in the community, working from love, not for praise, not for likes, but for purpose. And here's what might shock you. Jason House didn't even want to be mayor at first. He was offered the chance nearly 4 years ago. Turned it down. Why? Because he believed in working behind the scenes, helping without needing recognition, contributing without flashing it on camera. While others chased power, Jason was earning trust. He watched, he listened, and he served quietly, consistently. But eventually, it got too bad to ignore. The scandals, the mismanagement, the crumbling. Faith from the public all hit a boiling point. That's when Jason House finally stood up and said, "Enough is enough." And when he stood, the people followed. Dalton owes Jason House more than a round of applause. They owe him real gratitude. Because true leadership doesn't come wrapped in designer suits or flashy press conferences. Sometimes it shows up humbly, rolls up its sleeves, and gets to work. Now sure, you'll still hear some people trying to twist the story. They'll say they just didn't want to see a black woman win. It's a common deflection, but let's be honest, it completely misses the real point. Yes, being a black woman, a black man, or even a single parent might open doors. That's identity, and identity matters. It can inspire people, it can move the culture. Okay. But that's not what keeps you in the room. Keeps you there is integrity, discipline, and showing up for the very people who believed in you enough to vote you in. Because at the end of the day, you still have to do the work. In cities like Dalton, Atlanta, Jackson, or Montgomery, places rich in black history and community strength, being black can actually be an advantage. These are cities built on generations of black resilience and leadership. The opportunity is there. But once you're in that seat, it's what you do with the power that matters most. I'm from Sacramento, California. Unless you're in places like LA or Oakland, upward mobility isn't always easy to find. That's why so many of us dream about heading to cities like Detroit, St. Louis, or Atlanta, places where black leadership has made serious moves. But that dream only works when the people we elect understand the weight of that responsibility. Too many times we've seen people get that power and fumble it like it's nothing. They lose focus. They chase status instead of service. And when that happens, it's always the community that suffers. We have to do better. We need to stop treating leadership like it's a hustle and start treating it like the mission it's meant to be. When you're given a position of trust, you honor it. You show up. You get to work, because if we don't, we'll keep repeating the same cycles, watching our communities fall behind while the people in charge chase clout. This isn't just about Tiffany Henyard. This is about leadership, real leadership, and what any of us chooses to do when we're given a chance to lead. When someone believes in you, votes for you, and puts their trust in your hands, that's sacred. That is not a license to flex or belittle people. That's your opportunity to lift everyone up, not just yourself. That's what real leadership looks like. And anything less, that's betrayal. Let what happened in Dalton be a warning, not just for this village, but for every neighborhood, every city, and every block that dares to hope. When you place your trust in someone new, watch what they do with it. Because if they misuse it, manipulate it, or use it to boost their ego, they'll end up like Henyard, out of office, out of power, and out of excuses. Title gone, respect gone, support gone. All that's left is old Facebook posts and a handful of faded memories. The truth is, if you lead with purpose, if you actually do right by your people, it can bless you in ways you never imagined. It can elevate you, build your legacy, and retire you with honor. But only if you stay grounded. Only if you stay humble. Because the moment you start thinking you're above the people who helped you rise, that's when everything starts to crumble. That's when the spotlight turns cold. It's when the cracks start showing. And when it all falls apart, it falls hard. The salary, gone. The respect, gone. The influence, gone. All of it. And speaking of collapse, let's talk about Kamal Woods. Yes, that Kamal, the same married man Tiffany allegedly pulled into her world when everything was glossy and glamorous. Back when public money was flowing and life was all photo ops, luxury trips, and shiny new gifts. But now that the paychecks have stopped and the perks are gone, let's just say the vibe has changed. You think Kamal is sticking around? For love and instant noodles? Absolutely not. That man is packing his bags faster than a viral trend disappears. Because the truth is, he was never there for her. He was there for the spotlight, for the perks, for the ride. And now that it's over, so is he. Because when the power fades, so do the people who were only in it for themselves. And Tiffany? She's not just out of office, she's out of support, out of options, and running out of time. It's a tough fall, but it's the one she created. That's what happens when you treat leadership like a hustle instead of a mission.